Right now at 6, new developments in a long-delayed case against a police officer accused of killing a man in a Walmart. The district attorney files to drop the charges. We'll hear from the family who calls it a denial of justice.
She does not want to charge a policeman, period. That's her reasoning.
Plus, a new way to pay for public transit in the Bay, how it could make your ride easier.
I hope so. The train seems a lot busier these days, which is nice, but also kind of a problem for my seat.
And how local engineering students are helping restore a favorite South Bay Christmas tradition that's starting to show its age.
It's just really exciting to see it out here in the open and realize that a lot of people are now able to experience our effort.
And later, Bay FC is making a big splash with an international hire for head coach.
Because I think it really is shaping and driving, top tier women's football around the world, and I just want to be part of that.
This is CBS News Bay Area with Juliette Goodrich.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us at 6. A new twist in a long-running criminal case involving a former San Leandro police officer. He stands accused of shooting and killing a man inside a Walmart. But now the Alameda County District Attorney is filing a motion to dismiss the manslaughter case. It's a move that does not sit well with the family of Stephen Taylor. They've been waiting years to see this case go to trial. John Ramos reports on what they consider a denial of justice.
It was in April of 2020 that Stephen Taylor entered this Walmart in San Leandro. Police were called when he was suspected of shoplifting, and when former officer Jason Fletcher arrived, Taylor was holding a baseball bat. In the next 40 seconds, Fletcher tased him twice and then shot him in the chest, killing him.
I don't think I'll ever be able to move on. I'll never forget. How do you forget? How do you forget?
To many in the community, the killing felt rushed and unnecessary, and then DA Nancy O'Malley filed charges against Officer Fletcher. It wasn't something she was accustomed to doing.
Before that point, during her entire career, she had never, not one time, charged or prosecuted a single solitary cop for murder. Not once. He was the first one.
On this day, a group of protesters, including Taylor's grandmother, Addie Kitchen, gathered at the Alameda County Courthouse because after 5 years, 3 DAs, and the sitting judge, Thomas Reardon, twice refusing to dismiss the case, current District Attorney Ursula Jones Dixon has told the family that she intends to drop the charges against Fletcher. And the motion to dismiss is scheduled to happen on Friday when Judge Reardon is away on vacation.
I don't know how we got here. 5 years, 6 months. How many people have touched this case? Judge Reardon saw fit to not dismiss this case twice. And here comes the district attorney who says reasonable doubt that she didn't feel she could win this case.
Shannon Dugan is a KPIX legal analyst and former DA. She says the optics of dismissing the case when the judge is gone may be bad and may anger the family, but she says it is the district attorney's power and perhaps responsibility to drop the charges if she doesn't think she can prove them beyond a reasonable doubt.
The judge does not have the power to force the DA to proceed with the case if the DA decides to dismiss the case. What I was taught when I was a DA, and what is still the duty of the DA, is if you don't think you can file a case beyond a reasonable doubt, you really shouldn't file it.
The DA's office refused to comment on the active case today, but the family says in the conversation they had on Tuesday, Jones Dixon says she was concerned that the case was too old and there may be problems with witnesses and expert testimony. But Addie Kitchen thinks there may be another reason.
She does not want to charge a policeman, period. That's her reasoning. She does not want to charge a policeman. She's already dismissed cases on officers.
The motion to dismiss charges is expected to be filed on Friday afternoon in Alameda Superior Court.
So as John mentioned, we reached out to the DA's office and we had specific questions about the decision to dismiss the case while the presiding judge is on vacation, and also find out why they wouldn't let a jury decide this case. A spokesperson for Ursula Jones Dixon said the office could not comment on an active pending case. All right, right now in Oakland, students, staff, and alumni are gathering at Laney College to remember their former coach and athletic director, John Beam. The school community is holding a memorial and a tribute walk to celebrate Coach Beam's legacy. Beam was shot and killed on campus last month, and since then, players from all generations have been coming back to Laney to remember the mark that he left on their lives. Our Andrea Nakano is live at this ceremony, hearing tributes from former players and family. Andrea.
Juliet, the memorial has now ended, but there was a very nice tribute here on the field with a drone show and a video from Coach John Beam, actually, and hundreds of people were here to celebrate his life. This event started around 4 o'clock this afternoon with speakers before the walk. Now, they're calling this event Light the Path, Light the Field, a walk in tribute to honor the legacy of Coach John Beam. His current and former players, students, and staff from Laney College and members of his family were all here, including his wife, Cindy. He didn't have just an impact at his college, but he also went to local high schools to talk with younger students, and his relationships didn't end. Once his students graduated, he kept checking in on them to make sure they went to college and found success in life.
He believed in you so that you can believe in yourself. He gave people hope and opportunities. He showed you that he cared. He made sure to always check on people he cared about. Let's remember Beam by making an impact in people's life and continue to put students first.
The family did not want to speak on camera, but his sister-in-law came up to the podium this afternoon and just thanked the community for all of their support. Jules?
Andrea, thank you. Well, the man accused of killing John Beam is 27-year-old Cedric Irving Jr. He is set to appear in court again next week. Teachers will be back in their classrooms tomorrow in the West Contra Costa School District after 12 hours of negotiations. The district and union have reached a tentative agreement at 2 in the morning. So here's a look at what's in it. All educators will get an 8% raise over the next 2 years. They'll also get 100% of their family's health care premiums paid by 2027. There's also retention bonuses for new special education teachers and new teachers who stay with the district for 3 years. Also, the deal includes protections for international teachers, including a pathway to residency. The agreement still has to be ratified by the union and the school board. The union vice president said, "We've made important progress in ending the district's decades-long staffing crisis. This contract is a strong foundation for us to continue to build the learning environments our students deserve." The district said in a statement, "We are relieved that the strike is over and our students and teachers will be reunited in the classroom." Meantime, tonight, the Oakland Unified School District is expected to vote on a $100 million cut to next year's budget. So the hope is to avoid a possible state takeover. School leaders are considering layoffs at the central office and cuts to school programs. They say they're trying to keep as many teachers from being laid off as possible. The district has to present a balanced budget to the county by December 15th. Getting around the Bay Area just got a little easier today. Starting today, nearly every transit agency launched a tap-to-pay system for buses, trains, ferries, and more. So here's how it works. Before, riders needed a Clipper card or a physical ticket. But now, all you need is just to tap a debit or credit card or the digital wallet on your smartphone. BART started testing this system back in August and says riders using Tap to Pay accounted for about 8% of weekday trips. We spoke to one commuter who made the switch.
Actually, I used my debit card for the first time with Apple Pay, so it's super efficient. I'm a fan of it. It just, makes everything more simple. I use it every single time I do. I don't use Clipper cards anymore.
There are also new benefits coming for Clipper card users. The next Gen cloud-based system will offer instant reloads and then let you manage multiple family accounts in one place, whether you pay by Clipper or credit card. You can also get a discount when you transfer between transit agencies as long as it's within a 2-hour window. All right, there's also changes coming for drivers on the Richmond-San Rafael Bridge. They're taking out the old school toll booths and replacing them with overhead fast-track scanners. So drivers likely saw crews working on the westbound upper deck today. Officials say the shift to cashless tolling should boost safety and ease backups at the toll plaza. Gilroy police arrested a man accused of stabbing a Safeway employee this morning. 31-year-old Derek Bell is facing charges for attempted murder. Police say Bell walked into the employees-only area of the store and was asked to leave. The suspect refused and then attacked a female employee, throwing an object at her. Police say a second employee jumped in and Bell stabbed him. The victim was taken to the hospital. He is expected to be okay. We're learning about a major pot bust in Hayward. The California Department of Fish and Wildlife shut down an underground marijuana operation last month. Officers seized more than 6,000 cannabis plants and nearly 200 pounds of processed cannabis across multiple warehouses. It's all part of a statewide crackdown on the illegal marijuana market. Governor Newsom says officers have seized more than $50 million worth of cannabis in the last month alone. Still ahead, right here at 6, a beloved holiday tradition in the South Bay is getting a tune-up. That's thanks to a group of San Jose State engineering students.
It was like just in the corner of the warehouse, just like sort of in ruins. And then now we look at it, it's all shining with new penguins on there that we created. And all of our animatronics and all of our hard work kind of paid off.
Plus, big news in the world of Bay Area soccer. We'll introduce you to Bay FC's new coach, coming from across the pond, how she's ready to create a winning culture. And of course, don't forget to join us for our holiday special, Stories of Hope, airing Christmas night at 7 p.m. You can see the inspiring stories behind the effort to feed families across the Bay Area. Christmas in the Park, a decades-long San Jose tradition, is starting to show its age. Now a group of San Jose State mechanical engineering students are giving the holiday favorite a second life. Arlen Ramirez shows us how the partnership is helping both the students and the celebration shine a little brighter this year.
They walk in like kids on Christmas morning. San Jose State mechanical engineering seniors fanning out through Christmas in the Park, eyes scanning the displays. They're not just here to enjoy the lights, they're searching for something. A certain penguin carousel they spent months bringing back to life. The students rush to see the twirling and flying penguins, snapping photos and checking every flipper and foot.
It's just really exciting to see it out here in the open and realize that a lot of people are now able to experience our effort.
For the next generation of kids, these animatronic penguins now flap their wings and kick their feet again, all thanks to these soon-to-be engineers. Kids are seeing them for the first time, and for some kids at heart, it's like visiting old friends.
It looks really cute. It's my sister's favorite, and I love to see that it's all refurbished and going again.
A few blocks away, the same students are back in their senior project lab, surrounded by wires, 3D printers, and a dozen other year-end creations. The Christmas in the Park team crowds around a laptop they used to redesign the display.
Our technical lead was really pushing us to make our mechanisms exactly like how Disney does it.
The original display had been broken and put aside for more than a decade, lifeless in a warehouse. The students reimagined it from the inside out.
It was like just in the corner of the warehouse, just like sort of in ruins. And then now we look at it, it's all shining with new penguins on there that we created. And all of our animatronics and all of our hard work kind of paid off.
The student's professor says the partnership was a classic win-win.
What grade did the kids get?
They are going to get an A+.
Back at the park, dozens of mechanical displays fill this holiday village, some nearly as old as the tradition itself. Many still need repairs, upgrades, or complete rebuilds.
I think this is something that should be a template for what we're doing in the future, and I think we should start to expand it. I think that in the future we can start reaching out to kids while they're still in high school and start working as internships for them.
With skills sharpened, resumes strengthened, and one very cool holiday project under their belts, these seniors are ready to march into the job market, armed with real-world experience and a few new fans in Santa's workshop.
Christmas in the Park says several more displays are candidates for student-led makeovers starting next year. Stay tuned.
Maybe by next year, we'll warm up a little bit around the Bay Area. A lot of us have been staying chilly while at the coast. Hey, you've been the warm spots on the map. Mid-60s again at Half Moon Bay. Everybody else struggled up to the 50s and fell short of that even in Concord this afternoon. There are some changes in the forecast by next week. I've got the 7-day outlook coming up.
The city of Palo Alto is taking an environmentally conscious approach to protecting coastline habitats from rising sea levels. They're building a horizontal levee along the Palo Alto Baylands. Unlike a traditional levee, this 500-foot-long horizontal levee provides a refuge for endangered species when rising tides come in. Today, volunteers planted around 1,000 different trees and plants in this new habitat. The Palo Alto Public Works Department says it hopes the design can set an example.
We're just hopefully that other communities can follow suit and that we've streamlined the permitting so it's easier for them, and that to showcase this and other communities see that this is a viable solution for them.
And the goal is to finish the levee by next summer. All right, let's get to our important forecast here. Paul Hagan standing by to fill us in on when the freeze might just kind of decide to hop on out of here.
Yeah, the freeze for a lot of us. It has been pretty close to normal in the Santa Clara Valley. Okay. Above normal at the coast. Half Moon Bay has been running in the 60s for the past several days. It's, interior portions of the East Bay.
Yes.
We both live, and the North Bay that have been well below normal. So we're going to get nerdy for a second here and talk about what's going on. We've been talking about how that layer of air has been kind of trapped at ground level. How there's been a lid on the atmosphere. Part of it is just the weight of the atmosphere on top of us, but there's also something else going on. I'll show you something complicated here, but don't worry, I'm going to describe what's going on. This is a sounding. This is weather balloon data that we take a couple times a day at various points around the country, and this is what it typically should look like. All of this stuff is how we diagnose winter weather and severe weather. Don't worry about that. Just the red line. This is what it's supposed to look like. The temperature trace as you go up in the atmosphere. As the balloon rises, the temperature goes down as you climb in the atmosphere. This is the sounding from this afternoon. Just kind of threw a dart at the map and picked Brownsville, Texas. Okay, good a spot as any. Here's the sounding from Oakland this afternoon. Notice how the red line goes down, but after it really does a climb. There's a layer of warm air about 3,000 feet above ground level that is running in the upper 60s. That is the lid that is holding the fog, the cold temperatures closer to ground level. It's why that we've seen such a change in temperatures as you go up in elevation, and that has been just trapping this entire air mass in place. So one of the ways we can look at that, go to the floor map and take a look at average high temperatures so far in the month of December and where they rank so far. In San Francisco, the average high so far has been 54.5 degrees for the first 10 days of the month. That's the 11th coldest on record, almost in the top 10, and record keeping goes back to the gold rush. That's a long time. Livermore, the average high has been just short of 54 degrees. That is the 7th coldest on record, and the records there go back to about 1900. Sacramento, the average high so far this month is lower than 50 degrees. It's not the coldest on record, but it's one of the coldest on record, ranking in the top 10 as well. But the opposite side of that, as you climb up in elevation, let's go over to South Lake Tahoe, where the average high temperature doesn't look a whole lot different, 52 degrees, but that ranks in the top 10 warmest starts to the month of December because they're at higher elevations where they get to enjoy that layer of warm air that otherwise is trapping everything underneath it, including all of the pollution closer to ground level. Air quality was not great once again today. It's going to be not great again tomorrow in the moderate category for most of the Bay Area, with unhealthy for sensitive groups readings a bit more widespread in the interior valleys of the East Bay, where some of the chilliest temperatures and the densest fog have been located. Might see some improvement to that by the time Saturday and Sunday roll around. Right now, looking outside and seeing, well, clear skies from Salesforce Tower, but temperatures are still chilly. The only spot in the 50s is 51 degrees in San Jose. So it is going to be another cool to flat out chilly evening as we head through the rest of tonight. And of course, the fog is going to continue spreading out. That Tule fog spilling through the Delta into the interior valleys of the North Bay and the East Bay, and even across the Bay and into San Francisco and a little bit into the Santa Clara Valley. Doesn't take too long for that to dissipate once the sun comes up tomorrow, and that's where we're going to see temperatures warming up to about the same extent as they did today, maybe fractionally warmer east of the Oakland Hills. But you see all that blue hanging out in the Central Valley, indicating the cold temperatures, mostly 50s there with some 40s sprinkled in. 60s, though, in the Santa Clara Valley, a mix of upper 50s and low 60s around the Bay. And once again, mostly 60s at the coast and mostly 50s for the North Bay. The farther inland to go, the better the odds are that you manage to get up into a little bit above average territory around Healdsburg and Windsor. Interior portions of the East Bay and the North Bay. Not much change through the weekend and even early next week, but you do warm up to a greater extent once the next chance of showers moves in. It's not a guarantee of rain, but it's the next good chance that we're going to see arriving by Monday night into Tuesday and potentially lingering into Wednesday. Doesn't look like it would amount to a whole lot, but just the presence of that storm system should disrupt this stuck weather pattern that's in place. And that's when everybody's temperatures will kind of converge. So enjoy being the warm spot on the map along the coast for the next several days. You're going to be back to pretty much where everybody else is by Tuesday and Wednesday of next week.
All right, I got all of that, like that fleece and the flannels and
there you
the
go.
fuzzies. And all
There'll
that.
be a quiz later.
Okay,
Yeah.
that was a good map. That looked nice. All right, thank you. All right, and coming up, Bay FC making a big splash by hiring a coach from across the pond. We'll introduce you to her next. But first, here's a look at what's ahead on the CBS EV News.
More than 1 million Americans have been laid off this year. Tonight's Eye on America takes us to a small town in California where we see the ripple effect close up.
And a CBS News exclusive, details on the new flood warning system at Camp Mystic in Texas, where more than 24 girls were killed. We have the first TV interview with a member of the family that owns the camp. That's tonight on the CBS Evening News.
Bay FC has found its new head coach. The soccer club introduced Emma Coates in San Francisco today. She comes from across the pond, and it's safe to say she's enjoying sunny California.
I'm like, okay, I'm from a little village in North Yorkshire, and it couldn't get more polar opposites, if I'm honest. I can see the sun, there's some blue skies, there's some water.
When was the last time that you saw the sun, Emma? You can tell us.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
And it will warm up too. Coates is currently the head coach of England's women's under-23 team. She led them to an undefeated season in 2024. Earlier, she spoke about her goals for her new club.
And I think the bit that I really want to implement is that how do we play with variety, and how do we create a style of play that suits the identity of the club, but the players that we have, it brings out the best of them.
Coates is staying in England to finish the season. Bay FC says they'll make more staffing announcements soon, and we'll be sure to share them with you. Very exciting. CBS EV News is next on KPIX. Local news continues on our streaming service, CBS News Bay Area. We're back here in 30 minutes with CBS News Bay Area at 7, just for you. We'll see you then.